Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Syberia. So when we last left off, we had arrived at the university, and now we need to figure out how we're gonna get out of here, because obviously this is not the right place. So this area is pretty big, just like Valley de Lin. So, trying to get my bearings here.
Hello.
You arrived by train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valley de Lin.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today, well,
Right, that tells us our answer.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Okay, apologies. The music's kind of drowning people out, and as much as I love the soundtrack in this game, we want to be able to hear people. So let's try that
I'm sorry
again.
to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
Okay, so let's ask him about this.
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, thinking of staying for long, yes?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick by the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superiors at the university. You understand?
Alright, well this is obviously not going to be easy.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barrockstadt Ornithological Collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility, and that is no easy task.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazon. Whoa,
It wasn't a good idea?
a nightmare. You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back, and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
The worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon the rectors are gonna notice. There's trouble in store, big trouble. I'm worried. Yep, worried.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Alright, well we're gonna grab this thing here, and then I guess explore the other area. If I had the opportunity to come to a university like this, I probably would have. It is really cool. Okay. So, let's see what's over here.
I can't go that way.
So we can't get in here yet. But it's good to check out the area. A lot of times you have to check out areas and discover things in order, obviously, for Kate to have the dialogue option about it. Otherwise, you'd have nothing to ask about. Okay, so this is the ladder. And again, there's a problem. Although if it were me, I'd probably just kick the birds out of the way, but whatever. Or try to shoo them somehow. Anyway, let's go back. Okay. Alright, let's try going this way now. See, and then like this bird doesn't... See, this bird fucks off, so I don't understand. Oh well. And the water looks kind of murky.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
So that's going to be our main goal for this area of the game. We need to get the train up here so that we can wind it and leave. But as with any adventure game, that process is not going to be quick and easy.
Kate Walker! Kate Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Well, alrighty then, Oscar. Hopefully it's nothing terrible.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
So Oscar's in charge of the train until stuff like this happens, I guess. Well, he said himself that he can't come out because the environment wouldn't do well for his mechanisms, so I guess I'll give him a pass this time. So now we need to go to the university itself. Before we do that, though, we're going to check out these areas. Oh, yeah, this.
That looks broken. I need a key.
All right. See, so gotta do those things to make sure that she has the option to talk about it. If I didn't see that we needed a key, then now in her dialogue thing, she wouldn't have the option to even ask about a key. Got to explore, which makes sense considering what type of game this is, but still. It can get frustrating sometimes if you're stuck, and all it was is that you overlooked something, so.
Hey there! On the boat!
I'm on a boat.
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, "Hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?"
Yeah, dude, I need help.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Por qué no? More money for that werk.
Da is possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Cinquante.
He want $150.
What?
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money.
Your lawyer is showing through, Kate.
I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
Do svidania.
Okay, it is your profession after all, Miss Lawyer. Okay, so now we have to pay this couple to move our train. But obviously, we don't have $100, so we're gonna have to figure out just how the hell we're gonna pay them.
This thing's jammed.
Okay, so obviously we are missing an egg. Oh, gee. I wonder who was talking about eggs. I wonder who also mentioned about, you know, the birds being super defensive and all that good stuff. So obviously the egg's not going to be easy to get. As is the barge.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Oh my god, I forgot about that guy. Really, though, it's not fair to say, kid, go back home and play with toy cars, because obviously if he's at a university, then... whatever. Yeah, this place is awesome. I mean, they really did such a good job with this game. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm, again, trying to get my bearings because I believe the rectors are through here. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Oh yeah, this is definitely them. Roll out the red carpet types.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure? Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to, and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall? Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Okay. Well, this is great. By the way, this guy right here, the one on the far end to the right, I swear to God, he sounds like an LPer, but I don't know who. Like, just as soon as I heard his voice, I'm like, isn't that like an LPer? But I don't know. Okay, the only really two things we're going to focus on are obviously Hans and, yeah, money, because we obviously need it.
Does the name Hans Voralberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Voralberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Voralberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Voralberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
No, well, that's nice backstory on him, if anything.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barrockstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Let's just get out of here.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
So obviously people pronounce things differently in this game, because the one guy was like, what did he say? Instead of automaton, he said like automaton or something like that. And then they called the university Barrockstadt. And Oscar called it something completely different, which is why I never even bothered pronouncing it. But I can say Barrockstadt. That's no problem. Ooh. I took Latin all 4 years of high school, but it doesn't mean I remember it, so... Oops. Right. I know you're supposed to get something in here. I guess we'll talk to him.
Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No.
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
Keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, we're somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
Whatever. Oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Gosh, it was so small. Right. So this is that bird that we're dealing with. Okay, this is what's important. It says the cuckoo, or the cuckoo, however you want, cuckoo. And that fucking Legend of Zelda. Oh my god, I'm blending games now, I'm sorry. Is particularly partial to its juicy fruit. It may sometimes gorge itself on this fruit to the point of drunkenness. Yeah, that's important to know. I'll go ahead and go through the rest of this in case y'all want to pause and read. This is also important, actually, now that I look through it. Grapes. So, we need to find grapes to feed to the birds. So this will be fun. See, now she made a note of that too. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and head all the way back out and see if we can't figure out what we're doing.
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barrockstadt.
Bollocks, what? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Voralberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Voralberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Morrison.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Man, you are such a swell guy. Alright guys, so I kind of goofed because obviously there were other things to do in the university, still in the library. I forgot that I had to actually look at another book in here. I thought the only one we had to look at was the book with the bird and the grapes and how to figure that out. But there is something else in here. Now I just have to find it. Right, it should be sticking out somewhere. Maybe it's on this side. Ladder, maybe? Oh, okay. Plants and mushrooms. Right. Okay. So that's also important to look at. Alright. So now we have to go back and cross over to the other side and not like that though. It's not like we died. You can't die in this game, so at least not that I can remember. That it never happened to me, at least, so I don't know. Yeah. No, that wouldn't make sense. Because I think this game tries to keep its realism, even with, you know, the situations that go on. So having Kate die due to something would be kind of strange.
Excuse me. Sir, please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but...
This young Mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
Yes. Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
Okay, well, let's ask him about... Let's go ahead and ask him about Hans, because we usually do ask people about him anyway.
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Voralberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Voralberg. Hans Voralberg. Do you know him?
Hans Voralberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Voralberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there was only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mouth, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Voralberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
And again, he says chimera, and usually I know it as chimera.
If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant, then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrockstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much. I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Okay, guys, and now we gotta go all the way back to the station master. See you there.